They told me the free food would be up here. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2015. Today it's a celebration of all that you have accomplished so far and an invitation to the emerging challenges that await. Today, we refute all the naysayers, or in the common urban vernacular, haters, who said we were wasting our time and, more importantly, our money pursuing higher education. Today is for all those who attempted to derail our progress and stunt our growth by advocating the maintenance of the status quo and spinning our intellectual wheels by occupying the educational lane that they have chose for us. Today, we proudly acknowledge and embrace that we did not earn our undergraduate degrees in the traditional way. We earned them in the fashion that we always do things, our own way. I know that my personal journey to the new school was fueled by the same thing that informed my academic interests and concentration, my love of literature. I have a fetish for books, and so you can find me in any time, any place that's selling books, I'm there. So it's only natural that I attend all the city's book festivals and book fairs. 3 years ago at the Brooklyn Book Festival, I did something that I never do. I took a flyer that's been giving out to passersby. Yes, I'm that typical native New Yorker who considers the offer to take something from someone I don't know offensive. Not only should you not hand anything to me, but you should gather from my demeanor that you should never even think about handing anything, much less a flyer, to me. I believe I can attribute this attitude concerning this from the sentiment offered to me by my father while we were walking from 34th Street to the circus when I was 5 years old. My father responded to my confused and careful look at his calculated evasion of men attempting to hand things to him with, if they're giving something away, that means it's not worth anything. Don't even waste time considering what they have to offer. So, when I arrived at the Brooklyn Book Festival in 2011 and ascended the J Street Borough Hall train station in Brooklyn Heights, I saw a table offering copies of literary journal 12th Street, and I openly rebelled against the paternal instructions that were given to me to protect me from a lifelong agony and disappointment. I quickly made haste to the stand before the supply was exhausted. When I arrived at the table, I was expecting to purchase a copy at a discounted price. Much to my surprise, they were offering it free of charge. So it was only natural that I took the accompanying literature so I wouldn't be disrespectful. After receiving my copy of 12th Street, I went about enjoying the rest of the festivities by purchasing a few more titles that I couldn't afford and didn't need. As usual, it was not until I arrived at home that I decided to evaluate what I had purchased. The first thing I noticed after emptying my full backpack was a large informational flyer from the new school's Bachelor's program. Over the previous several months, before attending this particular book festival, I had been desperately searching for an undergraduate degree program that was welcoming and sensitive to returning older students and working students like myself. Much to my surprise, this program for adult transfer students appeared to be exactly what I wanted. Now that the flyer had piqued my interest, I decided to visit the university's website so I could gather more information. Immediately upon reaching the department's landing page, I read a statement that catalyzed my registration for the next information session and my subsequent enrollment. Design your own program. Because of the entirety of my higher educational journey, up to that point had restricted my intellectual curiosity to a narrow menu of core curriculum courses and even less appetizing so-called electives, a program offering a non-traditional college experience was a welcome departure from the norm. Could it be true? I wasn't sure, but this jaded New Yorker was curious enough to check it out for himself. Within 48 hours, I attended an information session to get a feel for the programs. Get a feel for the program. I'm actually kind of torn up just thinking about it. Still thinking about it. The school's representative at the event, Merida, provided detailed information that reiterated what was expressed in the flyer. I had such a wonderful experience that time on that Tuesday event that I registered and came to another one on Thursday. That one was led by Michelle Mater, who would teach the race, ethnicity, and class and media class that I eventually took. By Friday of that same week, I had gathered the required documents and finished writing my application essays for submission. Who would have ever believed that I would go from complete ignorance of the bachelor's program for adult and transfer students to an applicant in less than a week? I sure wouldn't have. Remember, I called myself a typical New Yorker. However, I can tell you that that was the best and the most important decision I made in the last 20 years. After speaking to others about their ways and they have founded a new school, I found that my trip here wasn't unique. As a matter of fact, it was typical. I'm just one of many others who desired to complete as a degree at an institution that understood and catered to my needs. It was this need that continued to have continued input and positive impact in our education that led us to the new school, and most specifically to the bachelor's program. At this university, we not only found a place that valued and nurtured the expression of our individual voices, but also one that always encouraged and ultimately demanded we add ours to the chorus resonating from the university's past and present to improve and inform our existing and emerging communities. So today, as we gather to celebrate the class of 2015, we understand that we have been preparing for this day since we first enrolled, and that we graduate into something profound the moment that first course met. As we humbly concede the need for vocational aspects in higher education, we did not enroll at the new school to find and fill jobs. We enrolled at the new school with the intentions of creating them. We are not a group of students, we're not a group that waits for opportunities to present themselves. We choose to go forward and make chances in the spaces we desire. Included in the bargain of this creativity, we promise to bring along others who are prepared to energize and ride the wave of social change for the better. Today, we honor our commitment to contemplate, envision, and develop objects and processes to construct a world that is more empathetic, truly inclusive, and ecologically sustainable. So today, as we move forward along the journey of life, we offer ourselves for the difficult work ahead. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2015.